I was not prepared for the cold weather. The coughing would not stop, but I kept on working. I was afraid, and I hid my illness.
Migrant workers can be exposed to a very wide range of medical problems associated specifically with the fact they are working in a strange land. Some of these conditions include, for example, diarrhea caused by strange foods, headaches caused by stress and long working hours, and asthma caused by an unsafe and dusty work environment.
Not so healthy individual going abroad, any other additional factors such as change in climate, the lifestyle, the diet, the stress that they will be experiencing from a different country would or might give some complication with the present illness that they have.
I've got sick like migraine, sometimes my heart beating very fast when I feel sometimes nervous.
You know, the movement of this vessel. Oh, so every time I feel this, I make some vomiting, you know.
My first 2 to 3 months, I always cry.
Overseas work can be really difficult, not only physically, but also emotionally. Almost every migrant worker struggles with the feeling of extreme loneliness due to long-time separation from their family, especially when faced with situations such as abuse and great pressures from the family back home. Some migrant workers can even acquire psychological illnesses, including depression and psychosis.
In my experience, I have one messman getting crazy on board the ship because on board the ship, they have so many stress to think. There are so many things to do, you know.
When an overseas worker, or anybody for that matter, is subjected to conditions that are unacceptable, the mind creates an alternate reality. So they hear voices that other people don't hear. Some of them see people that other people don't see. And they begin to believe things that may have no basis in reality.
Sometimes he talked to himself, especially on his cabin, or while he is working on the galley.
While you're cleaning, for example, a teacup, you can imagine it's a piece of jewelry that you're shining. It's a diamond. If it makes your work easier, lighter, certainly indulge your imagination. It is dangerous only when you actually believe that what you're holding is a diamond. You actually believe that, and it's dangerous.
Strong stress. I cannot sleep. I cannot eat.
If you have one sleepless night, is it time to go to the doctor right away? Maybe if you have one sleepless night, then that's no cause to panic. However, if you have 2 or 3 consecutive sleepless nights, you have difficulty sleeping for many days, then it's important to consult. If your appetite is not the same as before, then that's also a warning sign. And also if you have a past history of having had a problem. Because some workers do get to go abroad and even with a history of having had depression or psychosis before.
I really didn't seek medical assistance. I just got medicine from my friends and I kept it to myself. Some of the medicines helped, but there were some like herbal medicines that we would get from the market, and after taking these medicines, I'd feel okay for a while, but then the side effects would be bad.
Malu Marin from an NGO, Action for Health Initiatives, conducted a study on migrant workers and their health.
Among migrant workers, in the study we also found out that there is a tendency to self-medicate or to consult family members, to consult friends when they're ill, not to see the doctor. Usually you see the doctor when your illness is already in a bad state, in a really bad state that you need to be hospitalized. But The attitude is, it's better not to know that you're ill, because if you're ill, then, you'll have to think about it. It will, give you problems psychologically, mentally. Also, you'll have to think about the costs, where will you get the money to pay for medication, to pay for treatment.
I didn't want anybody to notice that I was sick. I wanted them to feel that everything was okay and that I was doing my job. And so what I did was I asked one of the customers to come up and sing a song with me, and I was acting very happy and very eager. And while I was singing, I just couldn't help it anymore. I just felt so dizzy and I felt that I couldn't breathe. My manager asked me what happened, and when he found out that I was actually very sick, it made him very angry. He asked me why I didn't do anything about it, why I didn't tell him that I was sick in the first place.
It would of course be so much better if they reached out and shared how they were feeling at the moment. The thing is, most of them do not know how to seek help, or more importantly, they don't even know that they need help and that help is available if they want it.
Even though that I feel some sickness, I need to do this because I signed this contract, I signed this kind of job. So I have no choice to finish this. But as long as my job is finished, I run to my cabin and sleep like a baby.
When I have a headache, I sing love song or lonely songs. Then I cried while singing. Then the customers, because they think that I felt the song. That's why I cried. They gave me tips.
Sometimes they have physical or they have health problems, but they tend to ignore it or neglect it as long as they can keep doing their work. For example, an extreme example might be somebody who develops a neck mass, and his job is to carry cargo. As long as he can carry cargo, for example, on his right shoulder and the neck mass is on his left shoulder, he will keep carrying the cargo and just let the mass grow. Only when the mass has grown to such proportions that he cannot do his work